How's it going, guys? It's Ronaldo Hernandez, and today I'm going to make a video about going through oxalate dumping. So, the past few weeks, uh, I've been, dumping out oxalates, and I just want to share my experience, what I went through, supplements that I took that kind of ease the transition or ease this phase, and I guess you say my certain my own kind of personal advice on this for anyone that goes through this. So what I went through during this phase was I actually had a lot chronic diarrhea for like the past month or so. It was basically almost every day. And the good thing was though is that I noticed that the diarrhea would only happen a couple hours after I wake up. So normally I'll take my morning poop, and then a little bit after that I just start having like diarrhea. Now that's something that might happen with you too. You might notice that some symptoms, and it doesn't even have to be diarrhea, but just certain other things that you might be experiencing through this dumping phase is that you might only experience it during certain times of the day. And for me, that diarrhea would only happen like in the mornings or a couple hours after I wake up. Another thing that I dealt with was, my fatigue got worse. I want to say I felt depressed, but I kind of say that's more of like a low energy thing, and also more like loss of motivation. So yeah, I just didn't really feel like doing much because I felt pretty crappy. Another thing that I experienced too was I kind of felt very nauseous during the time. But once I ate something though, it actually felt better. So yeah. And also I want to say that I feel like my skin kind of started breaking down more. Like I've been dealing with problems with like gut dysbiosis, and a symptom of that is that I have like dandruff and like dry skin. I feel like that I kind of got a little worse during this time. I noticed like I broke out more during this phase. So that's just like some of the main symptoms that I went through. Uh, I feel like it wasn't too bad. Diarrhea was a pain in the ass, but it wasn't too bad in my opinion. And I feel like I already got through the worst of it. I haven't really had diarrhea. I actually feel more energized. I feel like I could do more during the day. I don't feel as tired. And it seems like my skin is starting to kind of clear up more too. Since I'm still on this I'm still following this like low oxalate carnivore diet. Um, Now I took things I took to kind of make this phase easier on me was taking vitamin B6, potassium, and a magnesium. And I want to say vitamin B1 also helped too, even though I was already taking this before the dumping started. But anyways, I feel like these supplements really help and kind of going through this progress or phase quicker. But taking vitamin B6, I suggest you look into that more and kind of I just want to say be cautious about it, just because I read a lot of evidence, a lot of anecdotal evidence, and I also read like I also heard from a lot of sources that it's kind of dangerous to take the supplement at a high dosage, because I mean the only time you really need to is when you're deficient in B6. But if you're going through this oxalate dumping phase, you most likely already are deficient in that vitamin, because that vitamin helps in like you metabolizing protein, carbs, and fats. But it's also like I think it's one of the vitamins that it helps in metabolizing. You could say oxalates in your diet. That's just what I read. And but however, the more you eat oxalates, the more your body needs of that vitamin to metabolize it. However, if you're experiencing a problem with oxalates, you're probably already deficient in it, and you're for sure gonna become more deficient once you start dumping out. So, what I did was I started off with like 100 milligrams. I mean, and I suggest you do 50 milligrams. I just did 100 just cause, and I slowly worked my way up to 200 milligrams, and I stopped there because any higher, that's why I read that it could be potentially become dangerous, and me, I just decided to just keep taking 200 milligrams, and then I'm still taking it to this day. I mean, I feel pretty good, but we'll see though. But yeah, anyways, once you start taking the supplement though, you might notice that your symptoms might get worse. Like you might even feel crappier at first. I forgot what the signs of it was, but I think it's something to do with, your body's now like getting this B6 levels kind of back in place, back in order, and this is gonna make you kind of process or metabolize the oxalates that's already in your system more efficiently, and so it might you could say it could speed up the process with the phase, which I feel like that's what it did for me. Because once I started taking the supplement, like a week or two later, I stopped having diarrhea. I started feeling better, and so yeah. But at first, I suggest you be careful when you take that supplement because it might get worse. I know for me it did, and it was just rough. But I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just get it over with. Potassium is also another important supplement that I was taking during this time. The reason that is because I was having diarrhea, so I was depleting a lot of my electrolytes, you know, because of that. So I just made sure I got enough potassium in my diet, or salted in my food, salted in my water, and then magnesium also helped too with this process, just to kind of help me be more in a relaxed state. I also make sure, since we're talking about electrolyte, make sure your salt intake is up to par too. Just because if you having symptoms of diarrhea or even vomiting or anything like that, you for sure gonna depleting your electrolytes at that point. So I suggest you re-up on those. And the other supplement that I was taking too was vitamin B1, thiamine, in the form of TTFT. Oh, and I forgot to say that the vitamin B6 I was taking in the form of P5P. I heard that one is more absorbable for your body, and so is the TTFT for thiamine. And this supplement has actually been a lifesaver for me. It's actually been helping me out for like a bunch of other issues like gut dysbiosis, indigestion, fatigue, chronic fatigue, fat metabolism, carbohydrate metabolism. Even though I'm not even eating carbohydrates no more, and even protein metabolism as well. Another suggestion that could be done during this phase is that you like. So for me, I just went kind of cold turkey on this, on the oxalate plants, which is actually kind of a bad idea. But at the same time, I feel like it just made things easy. Oh no, I wouldn't say easier. It made things pretty bad, but I think it made the process even quicker for me to go through because there's a lot of sources that say that once you go on like a low oxalate diet, you should cut back the oxalates at a slow pace. Like, you should still eat some, like especially the high oxalate ones. I'm not gonna say especially, but I'm gonna just say that you should still eat some kind of moderate amount of oxalates in your diet, and then slowly start easing your way into like a lower oxalate or like zero at all if you want to go like carnivore or something like that. And that could be a better approach. However, the process will be slower. For me, I just wanted to get it over with, so that's why I just end up going cold turkey. And that's actually when I started experiencing like all these symptoms. Like it just went like full on like berserk mode. But yeah, if you want to do that, you want to take the slower approach, a more easier approach. You could just slowly ease your way into eating little to no oxalates. That's what you want to do. And then if you want, you can look into taking vitamin B6 and also vitamin B1. Make sure you want the more absorbable forms of B6, take P5P. If you want the more absorbable form of thiamine, I suggest you take TTFD. And you gotta make sure your electrolytes are on point during this time too. That's really all I gotta say about that at this one. So I thank you for tuning in, and this is a Fast Life.